You found yourself on another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United, and on today's show, it was a tale of two wins as the Cavaliers got their best win of the season, while the Sacramento Kings got their worst win of the season because one team came into the game focused while the other took the game lightly. We will break the wins down right here on Let 'Em Know Kings United. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the post-game reaction podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and the Chicago Bulls. This is Let 'Em Know Kings United. Let 'Em Know Nation, you already know what time it is. Welcome to another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United, your Sacramento Kings, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Chicago Bulls post-game reaction podcast. And I'm your host, Tyler Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. And you can find Let 'Em Know Kings United, which is 100% completely free and available on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Radio Public, Pandora, or wherever else you want to listen to this show. Give the show a follow on those platforms. If you can, please turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. It is a great way to support the podcast, and I appreciate every single one of you for showing love and tuning in to Let 'Em Know Kings United. Well, we got a tale of two wins to talk about on today's show. For one team, they got their best win of the season, and for another team, they got their worst win of the season. And I'm going to start with talking about the worst win of the season, and that award goes to the Sacramento Kings. Now look, they beat the Memphis Grizzlies 103-94. I get all of that. I get that Domantas Sabonis had a monster night, 28 straight double-doubles for him. He had 25 points and 26 rebounds. I get all of that. But you know what? To me, the Sacramento Kings fell into the trap despite the fact that they won. Let me say that one more time. The Sacramento Kings fell into the trap despite a victory. Now, I will give the Memphis Grizzlies a ton of credit here. And actually, the Memphis Grizzlies deserved to win this game. To be completely honest, the Memphis Grizzlies played harder. They showed more urgency. They showed more focus than the Sacramento Kings did. And this is a team that is seriously heavy injured. It's almost like the Memphis Grizzlies are in an ER, an emergency hospital room with a lot of injured reserve players all night long. But I got to tell you, Taylor Jenkins, the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies, he's got those boys playing hard, okay? He's got those guys ready, willing, and able to compete. They had no clear-cut starter besides Jared Jackson Jr. They had a couple of G League players and a couple of two-way guys. And actually, if I got to be completely honest with every single one of you, the Grizzlies showed more focus than what Sacramento did. Now, now what would you think? Now, I know that a lot of people are thinking, why did Memphis deserve to win this game? 19 turnovers. 19 turnovers for Sacramento. That is absolutely pathetic. I am truly embarrassed that the Sacramento Kings turned the ball over 19 times. Now, why is that? Maybe because the Sacramento Kings were not focused. Maybe the Sacramento Kings assumed they would win via the eye test and took the Memphis Grizzlies lightly. But let me say this. You got to respect the game. You got to respect your opponent. Because this is the NBA. There's not gonna be any easy games in this league. You gotta grind, you gotta fight in order to win. And I think Sacramento was clearly not focused. Not focused as a team. As a team, we decided to come out flat. As a team, we decided to turn the ball over 19 times. As a team, we decided to overlook a very shorthanded Memphis Grizzlies team, which, if you came out focused, if you came out with the right mindset, if you came out with the mentality that is required to win games, we would have beaten this Memphis Grizzlies team by 15 or 20 at best. Now, Jaren Jackson Jr. was sure to get his. But if Sacramento would have just locked in on both ends of the floor, which they didn't do, obviously, and if they showed focus and they showed poise in this game, which obviously they didn't do, we would be talking about another dominant win, which we should have got. But no, we didn't get it. We played the worst brand of basketball I've ever seen this season. Now, at the end of the day, a win is a win. But there's absolutely no excuse for the way that we played. I thought that was unacceptable. I thought it was disrespectful. I thought it was selfish, careless at times, not taking care of the ball instead of valuing possessions. We disrespected the Memphis Grizzlies. We disrespected the entire crowd of the FedEx Forum. And we disrespected the game as a whole. It's just disgraceful. It is disgraceful that I watched the Sacramento Kings play that way. And we are a team that doesn't play that way. We are a team that prides ourselves on focus, on intensity, on accountability. Despite Domantas Sabonis' big night, I don't think any single Sacramento King gets a pass. Because almost every single Sacramento King turned the ball over tonight. Absolutely no excuse. No excuse. Pathetic. Honestly, you deserve to lose. You deserved Sacramento to lose this game, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Now, unfortunately, we got a win. Now, don't get me wrong here. I will take a win. Even though it was ugly and even though it was the worst win of the season, I will take the win. But we gotta learn how to be focused. We gotta learn how to play to our standard. Because we fell into the trap all night. We did. We might have disrespected Memphis. We might have disrespected the fact that Memphis was completely shorthanded. They got a couple guys that were dealing with injuries all night. I get all of that. We kind of disrespected the fact that Taylor Jenkins was the better coach of this game than Mike Brown, because Taylor Jenkins got his team to play hard and Mike Brown got his team to play careless at times. Or actually, I'm sorry, the Sacramento Kings decided as a team to play careless. Self-induced errors. Now, if you would have told me that we would play like this and won, I would have called you the craziest person alive. But because of the fact that it happened, I am not happy. I am really not happy at all. Memphis was the better team tonight, and it showed by the urgency that they showed, the competitiveness that they showed. They showed more fight, and they showed more respect to the game than what Sacramento did. Now, Domantas Sabonis was the only Sacramento King that actually showed me that he could focus. He had a career-high 26 rebounds along with 20 points. De'Aaron scored 23, but the amount of turnovers that this team had, I can't even get over it. I'm disgusted even talking about this win because the stats that Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox had, among other people, are overshadowed by the fact that the Sacramento Kings as a team turned the ball over 19 times. This team's got to learn. This team's got to learn. Now, if you play like this against the Miami Heat, who have been struggling lately, who recently got a baller in Terry Rozier, which I think Terry Rozier might be playing better in Heat culture than the Charlotte Hornets. If you come out against Miami and play the way that you played, that Miami would make this a cakewalk. Even though they've lost a couple of games in a row, and I'm speaking of the Heat here, the Miami Heat would have made this game a cakewalk. Now, regarding Domantas Sabonis, he became the second player in NBA history with at least 20 points, 25 rebounds, and 5 assists and a shooting percentage of 90 or better. The last person who did that, Wilt Chamberlain, who did it in 6 games. Mike Brown said it was a monster night. I'm not saying he's Wilt, but to be mentioned in that category for putting up that statistical line like he did, it's absolutely amazing. G.G. Jackson said they got the clutch player of the year in De'Aaron Fox. He had some very, very tough shots. Obviously, Sabonis did Sabonis things. Taylor Jenkins Sabonis said the coaching staff warned us before the game that if we didn't come out and play hard as the aggressive team, it was going to be a long night. There it is. There it is. Domas, you hit it right on the button. This team did not come out and play hard. They didn't. They didn't. Now, I'm speaking of Sacramento here. And I'm going to give all the credit in the world to the Memphis Grizzlies again. Because this team had 8 guys. Only 8 guys available. And honestly, they came out and outplayed Sacramento from the jump. From the jump. The 19 turnovers. That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing to me. Like, if you would have turned the ball over 19 times against teams like the Boston Celtics, teams like the LA Clippers, teams like the OKC Thunder, I could understand that. But when you turn the ball over 19 times against a G League heavy Memphis Grizzlies team, that is just embarrassing. That is just embarrassing and disrespectful. And by the way, the Memphis Grizzlies used its 27 starting lineup of the season. Nonetheless, the Grizzlies played well until the closing minutes. Taylor Jenkins said, "Our guys love to compete. That's how we've always operated." So I was not surprised by the performance. Obviously, we didn't come out with a win, but so proud of the way our guys battled. Taylor Jenkins and the Memphis Grizzlies, to keep it 100 with you, because the Sacramento Kings will not admit it, the Grizzlies deserved to win this game. All kudos to the Memphis Grizzlies. All kudos to Taylor Jenkins for getting his guys ready to play. I thought Memphis played harder than Sacramento, and they showed more focus than the Sacramento Kings. That is just the bottom line. While the Sacramento Kings, on the other hand, were disrespectful all night. Disrespectful to the game, disrespectful to the Memphis Grizzlies. They did not show any discipline as far as taking care of the ball. We were sloppy with our passes. We were doing so many flashy things that I did not like instead of keeping it simple. If you disrespect the game, you're going to get burned. Now, fortunately, the Sacramento Kings got the win. It was ugly, but a win is a win. But they need to learn how to show more respect to the game. If you do that against a very well-coached team like the Miami Heat and Erik Spoelstra, the Miami Heat could have a golden opportunity to have a get-right game at the hands of Sacramento. And honestly, if Miami saw what Sacramento did tonight, they might be going like, "Oh, we gonna beat this team. This team is disrespectful to the game. This team just doesn't know how to take care of the ball." Maybe Erik Spoelstra could exploit that on Wednesday. But my God, even though Sacramento, you guys got the win, it was the worst win of the season because you were disrespectful. The Kings shot 51% for the field, 60% for the free throw line, 29% from three-point range. The rebounds were 51-37 in favor of Sacramento, but the biggest stat of the night, 19 turnovers for the Sacramento Kings. That was disgraceful. That to me was disgraceful and embarrassing. The points in the paint, 56-34, the Kings won in that battle. The fast break points were 16-10, but again. You were unfocused. You were unfocused because you decided as a team to play this way. You turn the ball over 19 times. 9 times out of 10, you don't win. But Domas, you're the only Sacramento King that was in one of the most positive fashions. 20 points, 26 rebounds, 5 assists, but 3 turnovers. Keegan Murray, 5 points in 25 minutes with 5 rebounds, 4 turnovers. Disgusting. De'Aaron Fox, 23 points. 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. And by the way, speaking of disgusting, De'Aaron Fox was the only player on this team that got to the free throw line. I have never seen that in all my years of watching NBA basketball. Only one player from the Sacramento Kings got to the free throw line this game. And that was De'Aaron Fox. I don't know, or I don't understand if De'Aaron Fox was the only one that showed some aggressiveness. I don't know. But the fact that De'Aaron Fox was the only player that got to the free throw line while everybody else was playing soft and scared and not playing aggressive, that to me is also disrespectful. Not only the 19 turnovers that you had, but only one player got to the foul line. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful, despite the fact that you got to win. I am so mad right now, even though I should be happy that we got to win. Jaren Jackson Jr. played hard for the Memphis Grizzlies. 22 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 10 for 12 from the free throw line. Probably the most aggressive player out of everybody in this game. But again, I got to give the Memphis Grizzlies credit. They played harder. They showed more focus. They showed more intensity. Taylor Jenkins deserves a lot of credit, too, for getting his guys ready. They deserve to win. Sacramento deserved to lose. For Memphis, I got to say, you keep fighting hard. You're not going to win a lot of games, but if you keep fighting hard, you're going to be one of those teams that say, hey, you got a bright future. As for Sacramento, you got to show more respect to the game. You got to show more respect, and you got to show more focus, because I will not accept another performance like this again. If it happens, we're going to have problems. But coming up, we're going to talk about the best win of the season at the hands of the Cleveland Cavaliers over the LA Clippers in a star-studded matchup in Cleveland. Coming up on Let 'Em Know Kings United. We're back on Let 'Em Know Kings United, and now that we got the negative out of the way, which was the worst win of the season by the Sacramento Kings, I want to talk about one of the best wins of the season at the hands of the Cleveland Cavaliers, beating the LA Clippers 118-108 in a game between two of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. I mean, the LA Clippers were coming in with the best record in the NBA since mid-December, while the Cleveland Cavaliers had the second best record in the league since mid-December. Well, when push came to shove, the Cleveland Cavaliers proved why they are the best team in the NBA. I was listening to Locked On Clippers. As some of you or some of my regular listeners may know, I am a really big fan of the Locked On Podcast Network, you know, your team every day, and I have multiple teams on my Locked On family of feeds, including my Cleveland Cavaliers and the LA Clippers, Locked On Clippers. I don't remember who the host is, but I was listening to yesterday's show. And as I was listening to the show, I heard one question. Who is playing better than the LA Clippers right now? Well, to the host of Locked On Clippers, allow me to give you an answer. And that answer is the Cleveland Cavaliers. This Cleveland Cavaliers team played, I mean, one of the best games that I've seen, especially on the defensive end. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Cavaliers are 10-1 since January 3rd. And now the LA Clippers, just their 5th loss in 27 games since December 2nd. Now, the Clippers are still a playoff team. Don't get me wrong. I got to give the LA Clippers a ton of credit here. They are still a playoff caliber team. If Kawhi Leonard and Paul George stay healthy come playoff time, this team gonna be a problem. This Clipper team could be a problem in representing the Western Conference. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially Isaac Okoro, did a really good job all night long, especially on the defensive end. Donovan Mitchell was doing Donovan Mitchell things. He had 28 points and 12 assists, another double-double for him. And speaking of double-double, Jarrett Allen extended his double-double streak to 15 straight games. 15 straight double-doubles for the big man. I know the coaches are going to decide the reserves for the NBA All-Star Game this week. I'm telling you right now, Jarrett Allen better be in there and Donovan Mitchell better be in there, because Donovan Mitchell, as of late, is playing like the best point guard in the East. I know some people might say Jalen Brunson is the best point guard of the East. That's a big argument. There. But you look at what Donovan Mitchell is doing the past couple of games since Darius Garland and Evan Mobley got hurt. And by the way, welcome back Big Mo. 10 points, 9 rebounds in his first game back since knee surgery. I'm really impressed with Evan Mobley. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked loose. He's looking like his old self. And that was huge. That was a huge return for the Cleveland Cavaliers, getting Big Mo back, because Evan Mobley's presence, especially on the inside game, just spooked the Cleveland Cavaliers all night long. Jarrett Allen finished with 20 points and 17 rebounds, extending, I should say, his franchise record for consecutive games with double digits in points and rebounds. The Cavs needed Allen to step up his game while Mobley was out with a knee injury, and the affable center has done that and more over the past month. The Cavs went 14-4 without Mobley and Darius Garland, who could be back from a broken jaw in a few days. And as of this recording, I got some breaking news right now. I found out, according to Shams from The Athletic, that Darius Garland could return tomorrow night when the Cleveland Cavaliers take on the Detroit Pistons. If that happens, that would be huge. That will be huge for the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are looking like one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. And as far as why the Cavaliers continue to roll, Jarrett Allen said it's a testament for our team. It's a testament to JB and the organization, who we got the guys who are willing to sacrifice. And let me tell you something, as of right now, JB Bickerstaff is a Coach of the Year contender in the Eastern Conference. I still don't like the man. I still don't like his coaching style, but I got to give that man credit. I got to give credit where it's due to JB Bickerstaff. He's got his Cleveland Cavaliers pushing all the right buttons, especially on defense, and the Cavaliers continue to show why they are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard said it was a great team win for them. Starting with Donovan, they did a great job all night. We just got to keep shooting with confidence, because we know the shots are going to start going in. We're getting the looks we want, open looks, so we'll keep taking them. Karis LeVert, who has developed a knack for hitting buzzer beaters as of late at Rocket Mortgage Field, has dropped a step-back jumper before the horn. It was initially ruled a 3 to give the Cavs an 80-81 lead heading into the fourth, but it was ruled a 2 upon review. But the Cavaliers, for the most part, are finally getting closer to being healthy. Mobley played for the first time since going left knee surgery on December 18th. He finished with 10 points and 9 rebounds in just 21 minutes. The Cavs plan to initially limit his time until he works back into game shape, which absolutely makes sense. Now, what I did not expect was Evan Mobley last night being in the starting lineup. I thought, because it was his first game back in a couple of weeks, I thought Evan Mobley would be coming off the bench. But JB Bickerstaff knows what kind of talent that Evan Mobley has. Again, I'm not JB Bickerstaff, but I said in my opinion that Evan Mobley should have been coming off the bench for a little while, like Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic did with the Bulls. But JB knows what he's doing, and clearly I don't. Evan Mobley looked really, really impressive in his first game back. Mobley made it back in just 6 weeks. The team had estimated 8 and credited a positive mindset mindset for his quick recovery. Mobley said, I looked at it as an opportunity and just wanted to get back for the guys. I want to do what I can to fit in. Mobley's return is expected to be quickly followed by Darius Garland coming back. Like I said, it will be likely to play Wednesday night against the Detroit Pistons. He had some strong moments and a few in which he showed rust from his layoff. In the second quarter, he grabbed a rebound, dribbled the length of the floor, and knifed through the Clipper defense before dunking his first points since December 6th. Jared Allen said, it's good to have Evan back. He stayed locked in, and now that he's back, he's looking like to be his old self again. Now, if Darius Garland shows up tomorrow in Detroit and plays like Evan Mobley played, yo, the Cleveland Cavaliers might be standing on business. The Cleveland Cavaliers might be looking like a scary team because we already know that they got some shooters in the offseason. I mean, Georges Niang has just been a straight-up baller as of late for Cleveland. Max Strus is a big-time player, but you're going to get Evan Mobley back, who looked like his old self, a near double-double in his first game back, and Darius Garland potentially tomorrow against Detroit. Oh, this Cleveland Cavalier team looking dangerous out here, and I love it. 48% for the field for Cleveland, 47.5% for the field for the LA Clippers. It was such an even matchup that at times it was close to call, but ultimately the Cleveland Cavaliers led wire to wire because they outscored the LA Clippers in all four quarters. That's how close it was. You want to know how close it was? The point of margin for every quarter was a 3-point advantage or a 1-point advantage for Cleveland. That's how close it was because both teams are just too damn good right now. They are too talented in every single aspect of the game. That was a fun game to watch. Honestly, that was one of the most competitive games I watched this season. It could have went either way, but the Cavaliers were able to pull away thanks to Jared Allen's stud performance, Donovan Mitchell doing Donovan Mitchell things, Isaac Okoro was doing his thing on defense, Evan Mobley was doing his thing in his first game back. It was just a good win. It was a good win for Cleveland, arguably their best win of the season. They shot 32% from three-point range. Both teams shot 32% from three-point range. It was pretty even there. The free throw percentage, a 5-point advantage for Cleveland, but that doesn't matter when both of these teams are so evenly matched. The rebounds, 46-37 in favor of Cleveland. The assists were 28 apiece. The steals were 8-6 in favor of the Clippers. The blocks were 3 apiece for both teams. The points in the paint, 52-46 in favor of Cleveland. The fast break points were 17-15 in favor of Cleveland. It was simply put a well-even matchup all night long. And I love these type of matchups. When both of these teams are like two of the hottest teams in the NBA, and it was so well matched like this, it could have went either way. Kawhi Leonard, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He hit some tough, and I mean some tough shots tonight. Paul George, 13 points before fouling out. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals on a block. He was 3 for 11 from the field, 0 of 5 from three-point range. James Harden, we only limit him to 11 points, 7 rebounds and 10 assists, a double-double for Kawhi. So we did a really good job for James Harden, So we did a really good job of containing James Harden and Paul George. We didn't do a good job of defending Kawhi Leonard. I'm not going to lie to you. We didn't do a good job of defending Kawhi Leonard. But Kawhi Leonard is just too good. He's just too talented, and I knew he was going to get his. I mean, Kawhi Leonard is just a superstar for a reason. Off the bench, Norman Powell is a straight-up shooter. 18 points, 4 of 7 from 3. He had 3 rebounds and 2 assists on the night. Russell Westbrook was doing his thing off the bench with 13 points, 3 assists, and 4 boards. Daniel Tice was eliminated off the bench with no points, but he had 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I guess you can say Tony Snell after maybe 1 shot. But I'm not gonna argue about it there. As far as Cleveland, welcome back Big Mo. 10 points, 9 rebounds, and a steal in his first game back. Isaac Okoro was doing an awesome job, more specifically on the defensive end, defending Paul George. 17 points. He was 3 of 4 from three-point range, 5 of 10 from the field. and 3 assists. A great game for him. Jared Allen is all-star material, people. 20 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a block, 6 of 9 from the field. Donovan Mitchell, 28 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. Off the bench, Caris LeVert, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 for 12 from the field. Georges Niang did really well with 10 points. Max Strus, 14 points, 3 of 7 from three-point range with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Look, it was an all-star caliber matchup, and ironically, the Cleveland Cavaliers were wearing their City Edition Playout Square jerseys because the Clippers and the Cavs simply put on a show at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and as far as the Cleveland Cavaliers go, that was their best win of the season. It was evenly matched, it was very competitive, and at the end of the day, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, and the Cavs delivered a knockout punch to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They meet again April 7th in LA in probably one of the last few games for the Clippers at Crypto.com Arena before they move into the new Intuit Dome, the home for the 2026 NBA All-Star Game, which I'm really excited about. A very competitive game between two of the best teams in the NBA, and the Cavaliers delivered their best win of the season. That's going to do it for today's edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United. You can find this show on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Radio Public, Pandora, wherever else you want to listen to the show. Give the show a follow on those platforms. If you can, please turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. I'm your host, Carlo Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you right back here for another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United.